What's up, Nerd Fam? We are back for Talk Nerdy to Me, like we said. We had to take a few extra minutes because our dog decided to be psycho before we were trying to get him upstairs, and he wanted to run around like a crazy man. So, that being said, we are going to wait a few minutes to let people show up, so that way we can start the discussion and get our nerd on.
Yep.
So, we will just give it a few minutes, see who shows up. Chicken Nugget Chicken Wing is on. Brayden, welcome. What is up, guys? Skyfrost. We're gonna kind of wait it out a few minutes just to see how many people we can get to show up here. But we can honestly tell you, no one did.
Yes. Luckily.
Well,
no one did.
Well, you said yes. She said,
Oh,
did
yeah.
anyone die
Oh,
for
no.
real? And you said yes. You kind of scared me. I'm like, did I
No.
miss something?
No.
Okay.
Well, 52 times they did,
Yes.
but not the 53rd.
She said yes. Justin, we're not going to do that just because Enosh is not here and he has his lightsabers up on a wall in his room. So we will not be doing that this week, but we will find another time to be able to do this another week because it looks like we will not be watching The Flash with you guys until March 3rd or 5th.
5th.
But we still have the
It's 3
Orville
weeks.
this week, so
Yeah.
hopefully we can catch up on that show as well.
Wait, was Orville 1 week or 2 weeks?
I'm hoping it was this week.
Yeah.
So, I know it's a first for us with no Enosh on
Yeah.
screen too. That's why we said we're not sure how long this episode is going to be tonight, but we will still go on. We will talk nerdy and we will talk about the episode itself.
Yep.
So,
Said the first thing, of course they're not gonna let a major character die in a non-season ender episode. That's true, and that's what I was
Yes.
thinking.
Exactly. So before we start, now that we have a handful of people showing up, the one thing that we will go over is just some of our favorite things that stood out in this
Yeah.
episode. And this was a great episode, I think. It had a little bit of everything, a little bit of everyone, and so I loved that about it. Isaac, what were your thoughts on this episode, besides calling a couple of the things
yeah.
that happened?
I thought it was a really good episode, and one thing that Jeff said at the very beginning of the episode is that they set a good premise at the beginning.
Yes.
And I thought they laid it out really good, and I thought this was a really good episode. And Honor kept on trying over and over again to
True.
try and fix it, and she tried different outcomes. And I really liked Cisco's quote at the end, how he's like,
Yes.
"Oh yeah, whenever you keep on failing at something, you keep on focusing on how to do better.
So you don't fail again.
Yes, you don't fail again." And I thought that was a really cool thing that Cisco
Yes.
said. And what it looks like, as I found out, is it looks like Sherlock told Barry, "Oh yeah, it looks like Barry went in the Speed Force for this episode," is what it looks like.
Yes.
Because when he came back, he's like, "Oh yeah, Sherlock was right. An hour of running around with this made it work." So.
And ironically, she had to slow down instead of speed up to be able to fix it, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, and she got to use her powers, which is another thing that Jeff said is her replay
Yes.
power. Where things slow down and reverse.
But it also makes me wonder why she couldn't go back in time. Like, it
Why
also
she couldn't go
inhibited
so
some of
far.
her powers.
Yeah,
Yes.
like why she couldn't go so far back. And she can only go back to like a few hours. But I also like the end also with Reverse Flash.
Yes.
We see like he like
Freaked out a little bit.
yeah, he lashes out on Nora a little bit like, "Oh yeah, I'm the only speedster that knows what's gonna happen."
Fine.
Yeah. And he's like, and I like that we find out his plan for the season, which one thing that we've been saying for the
It
past few
wasn't
weeks.
to kill Barry. It wasn't to take him down.
Is he said we're gonna destroy Cicada's dagger, which would basically stop Cicada.
What's up, William?
And he said that we're gonna destroy Cicada's dagger, which is gonna
In turn, save your father.
Yep.
So that is actually a
no.
huge thing.
He's saying turns gonna save your father, and he said, and then we will save your father.
Yes.
So one thing we've been saying is maybe Reverse Flash isn't doing this to help them. He's doing it to make him the bigger villain in the future, which is one thing we've been saying the past few weeks. Which it looks
Yes.
like more that we're gonna get that.
And Jeff says, "What's with the long break again? That's the one thing I hate about American TV programming. There's a break for every holiday."
Yeah.
The only thing we have coming up
Yeah.
this coming Monday around is going to be, President's Day?
Yeah.
Which is also our kids' midwinter break. So we don't know what the reasoning is.
I think
but
Arrow's still on Monday, but I don't know. because it's President's Day.
Yeah, we still won't have Legends
Yeah.
here until April, which I don't understand.
Yeah. Well, at least they're done with their season.
Yes.
I know they're taking a break for some shows so that way they can finish up the season. So that way they're not falling behind.
But they should have used the other 6-week hiatus to be able to do that.
Yeah.
At least that's my thought.
I have a 6-day
Okay,
weekend.
we also have... William said, "What's up, guys?" Alan said, "When listening to The Flash, sounds close to Smallville and so much more, so I'm looking forward to watching it." And that's very true, because it's kind of got that same vibe to it, not quote vibe.
Now I think of it, I can see some similarities between it, especially at the beginning of both shows compared to where we are now in both shows. Like watching it together, I can see some similarities.
And then Alan also responded to Jeff about it. He says, "Here in the UK, whatever holiday the shows are always on." I wish that was true with us in the United States.
I'm hoping that's true, because after what happened last week, I want it to continue.
Even if it's a holiday, I would still sit here, tape it, watch it later.
Yeah, I'd still watch it.
William said, "Me and Braden have a 6-day weekend." That's what our schools are doing here, because we've had so many snow days, including today, possibly tomorrow, depending on how our weather decides to go.
Today was actually our 10th snow day.
Yeah, and so instead of trying to make those up in the summer, we don't know if they're going to add on time at the end of the year. But they're trying to use the holiday with President's Day.
Yeah, so they're not having to waste another one day off when they could just use it on President's Day. Yeah, we've had 10 so far, but the state excused 3 of them from 2 weeks ago when it was really cold and snowy.
Jeff is actually from the Philippines. That's super cool, Jeff.
Yeah.
Because he said that, where was I at? Jeff said, "Yes, Alan, that's also the case here in the Philippines." William said, "Yeah, I used to live in England, and it's pretty awesome how they do it." Alan says, "Here we have 2 inches of snow, and it all closes down." That's how it is in the South. My parents actually live in South Carolina, and living in Michigan all their life, we can go. I'm going to work when there's 2, 3, 4, 5 inches of snow. We just throw salt down, get some salt trucks and the plows, and we're good to go.
They could be up to my knee, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah."
We put on our snowshoes and we keep trucking.
Yeah, they would be up to my knees, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, that won't stop you from learning algebra too."
But my parents, where they live in the South, it sounds like, and my mom jokes about it, but she says it's more like a brine that they put down. It's like this liquid, but it's like they get this much snow and the whole entire city shuts down for like a day. So.
William said Kansas is sort of in between.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like you guys aren't like super cold, but you guys aren't super hot either, so.
Yeah, like a constant in between weather.
Jeff says, "Come here, we don't have a snowy cold winter. It's like spring all year." That is awesome, Jeff. I love spring and I love fall because it's like not too hot, not too cold. It's my favorite time of year, and we don't get enough of it.
I love spring because of baseball and fall because of football.
He likes it because of the sports.
Yeah. Do that.
Chicken Nugget, or Braden says, "Kansas has some whack weather." We are kind of having a little bit of every season right now. We were at like 40, we had negative 30. I said we're going to have like snow with lightning behind it. Something's going to happen here.
Right now it's 35, but feels like 18, it says.
It does.
Yeah, and it's snowing right now. Last time I took Wookie out before the Flash. I don't know if it still is.
You guys probably aren't going to have school. So back to the Flash.
Yeah.
Did you have any more thoughts besides the things that you had mentioned about your ideas, just so we can get through them?
No, I just thought that they set up a really good premise at the beginning. It was an overall good episode. And then it looks like they also like give us like a little bit of what they're gonna work towards for the rest of the season. Like we see Sherlock is
Sherlock.
Yeah, how he put in the rest of the symbols, and it's like, oh yeah, put in the last missing symbols. So it looks like he translates all of it, and now we have to wait 3 weeks to see what it all says.
Because you saw her when she actually went through, and she's like 52 different times, 52 different outcomes, 52 different deaths. And she had her little symbols next to all of that, which he kind of took note of, which you called. And so
where Nora messed up.
Yep, that's where she messed up. And so, but I think it's awesome, though, when you can see the guy who plays Sherlock and who plays, all those different characters. Yeah, Tom Cavanaugh. He's sitting here, looking at the screen going, and then the next thing you see him is Reverse Flash. And then you see him, I just think that's awesome.
I think this is the first season where he's played 2 characters in one season. Like, not including Crisis. I mean, not Crisis,
he's played Earth too. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but he hasn't played, like, 2 characters all season.
That's true, because I would say he played Earth 2 Wells, and then he played the one when he was the drummer, like had the drumsticks all the time. Yeah, HR. Yeah. So, But the one thing that I thought was kind of interesting is you saw a little bit of Nora's acting chops in this one, because you got to see her emotion a little bit. I mean,
Yes.
because it seemed like you could see the frustration and the tears and like, why can't I fix this? And it was like, it was actually kind of interesting and cool when you saw her running back, and it's like as she's running, you see like every time someone's getting hit by that dagger, and it's like, what do I got to do to fix this?
Yeah,
And
like
she
it's
kept
given her a reason
speeding.
to push forward and try harder.
And every time she kept going forward, that's when, you know, she couldn't figure it out. Jeff said, we learned so many things in this episode. I really like how they write the episode. One of the best, in my opinion, ironically.
Yes.
We didn't much of
Didn't get much of maybe
the title character. But you know what?
Yeah.
Sometimes that's nice that you can have Grant Gustin step back
Yeah.
and let the rest of the cast shine. I think
Yeah.
that's kind of cool. And like William mentioned, he said it jokingly, but I understand, is they actually wrote Iris pretty well in this episode, which they
Yeah.
haven't done all season.
Yeah, they haven't done that since like season 3, 4.
Nope.
Even before that, maybe.
She was the first one to die, and then, you know, she actually listened to Nora when she's like, wait a minute, we all die somehow? How are we going to fix this?
Yeah.
And then when she did finally, you know, go on there and she's like, oh, you're looking for me? This is what's going on. And so it was like, you saw the kick butt side of her, which
Yeah.
was super cool. So I if they could write her like that the rest of the season,
Yeah.
I think Enosh might actually like her.
Yeah. And another thing I really liked is at the end of the episode when he uses Jay Garrick's reference.
Yes.
When Jay Garrick was telling him about the timeline in season 3, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, how he grabs the mug and he's like...
And he shakes it until it
yeah,
breaks.
and he's like, use this as the timeline, and then he shakes it and then it cracks.
The time
Yeah,
continuum.
and he says you can always put it back together, but it still won't
It
be
won't
how
be
it
the
was
same.
originally.
Yeah.
Which I like what he's learned, he's teaching that to Nora.
Jeff said Iris is better off without Barry. That's the thing about her. True.
Yeah.
I like some of the ideas, though, that you were mentioning, Jeff, earlier in the episode about a spin-off with Nora, or if they continue, or if even if they decide to sacrifice Nora at the end of the
Yeah.
season so that they can bring the Tornado Twins in. I think that's a great idea
Maybe
as well.
even if we skip one season, like a one-season show of Nora, maybe seeing like what she did in the future before she came back.
True.
Like if we don't find out this season what caused her to come back, maybe we see in the future how she got to get taught by Reverse Flash, and maybe get the influence to come back.
But she saw that some of the influences that she was having, even on the Vibe. It was just, you know,
Yes,
when it was only suggested by one of the showrunners.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know, but I was just saying that it would be interesting if they did do that, because if they ended up sacrificing her at the end, it could be something like, you know, just even a one-off, you know, thing that, you know, no one remembers her, but
Yeah.
this was the, you know, adventures of Nora.
Or like a Constantine type thing, how it's only one season, but it gave you a little bit more like, oh yeah, I like this character a little bit more now because of it.
Yes, we do like watching Spider-Man and Iron Man movies. They are very fun. Even though we're DC, we still love Marvel.
Yes. Yeah, we still like both sides. We still go see the movies.
Jeff said they wanted to capitalize so much on the popularity of the Speedster series because The Flash is the #1 CW show.
Yeah.
I thought the funny little thing that they did was when she said that she went back in time, and they said how many times, and she said 52 to be exact,
Yep.
which makes reference to the new 52, which I thought was very cool.
Yeah, and in season 1 of The Flash, every episode from episode 1 up until the season finale, it's either the number 52 or they say something like, oh yeah, I did it 52 times. They do it every episode in season 1 of The Flash.
And also Jeff said it was not formally pitched to the CW network executives because they did not know yet what would be happening to Nora's fate by the end of the season. It's more of
That's
an
true.
inside joke among them, which I think is still great because they have something, they left it open. So if they don't sacrifice her, she can possibly do that. And if they do, like I said, you can do what Isaac said, do a Constantine where you have one season, 20 episodes, but you can at least, you know, tell a whole story in that time frame.
Yeah, like to get you to appreciate that character a little bit more.
I think that would be great.
Yeah, but I'd say overall, I'd probably give it, I'd probably say a 10 out of 10.
That would be awesome, Caleb.
Yeah.
He says, I still hope Nora has a twin named Eddie.
That would be cool.
That would be super cool, especially with her, you know, with what's going on with her with Thawne.
Yeah.
Staying in a storyline. I'm interested, though, to see what her and Thawne are doing, though. Because to say that you're going to go and you're going to
Destroy the dagger.
destroy the dagger. So what are they going to learn how to destroy the dagger?
Exactly. If
In,
it was, if
what,
it was
8
made-
episodes?
Yeah, because we only have 8 more left. Because if we get 22 episodes, I think it's 22 this
William
season.
loved this episode. He already
Yeah.
gave it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. I'd probably give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I really liked how it was written, and I really liked how they kind of like piggybacked off of what they did before. Like, okay, I did this. Let's try and change this. And then once Nora opened up to everybody, then they figured it out.
True, Caleb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like this episode too, and I was trying to sit here thinking, you know, if there's anything that I didn't like about the episode, but it was like it kept me on my toes. I was like screaming at the TV saying no. I was, you know, when, you know, I know that the dagger was going to come and hit someone else different, but it's like to physically see them get hurt.
Yeah.
It was just,
like
you know,
didn't know if it would work this time if Nora went
yeah,
back.
is she going to go back? Is this person not going to make it this time or something? So even Jeff said 10 out of 10. Okay, so Isaac, were there any other things that you can think about besides, you know?
No.
It was just
Yeah,
awesome. And
pretty
then
much
to
said
see the
everything.
previews that
We're actually
Grodd
getting-
and Shark, King
Shark.
Shark are going to actually be coming back for
Yep.
the episode. It's going to be so awesome.
And that would be a great first episode back.
Mm-hmm. Caleb also said maybe a reimagined Bart Allen, Eddie Allen from the
Yeah.
22nd century.
That would be cool.
Yes.
Yeah, because we still
Alan
haven't
says,
gotten
what I
Bart or
hear, I
Russia
know I
or-
would give the episode overall 9 and 10 out of 10. That's awesome to know that you give it without even seeing it.
Yeah.
But when you get to this point, you can rate it then.
Mm-hmm.
William said, but Eddie sacrificed himself for Team Flash.
Yeah, he did that at the beginning, season
Yes.
1.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what would you give it? A 10 out of 10?
I'd probably say a 10 out of 10 also.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think
really
we're all kind of
enjoyed
on
it.
the same page here. It's a
Yeah.
great episode, and I think even though we've seen it, because we like talking through this, I think me and Isaac might have to go back and rewatch it and just see if there's any other little nuances that we missed.
Yeah. So I feel like I picked up on pretty much a lot of things.
You did.
Yeah.
Isaac likes to call things either for the season or for the per episode, but either way, he gets that done.
Yeah, overall, the season 9.5 out of 10. Yeah, I'd say the same thing. I'd
Yeah.
probably give the overall season so far 9.5.
Yes. This is the best season so far, I think. I mean, if they can continue this,
Yeah.
I would love to see a couple more seasons like this with this kind of veracity because it gets you excited. I mean, I have Flash earrings that Enosh got me from Comic-Con,
Yep.
and I wear those every Tuesday. People look for them when to see if I'm wearing them, and then, you know, because I'm a nerd, and even at work, I'm gonna nerd out.
Yeah.
Caleb said, and Barry and Eddie were friends, romantic drama aside, which was shown in the season 2 time travel episode.
Yep.
Very true. See, that's why we love Caleb, because he's always the one that gives us our information that we can't always remember doing a live episode. And it says, do I trust the Wolverine fans? Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Hail to the victor.
Yeah. He said.
I
He said he was rendered a hero by the end of the season. I think that would make sense for Barry to accept Iris calling their child Eddie, one of them. The season is almost better than season 2.
But, in a weird thing, she dated Eddie.
Yeah.
So would it be
Well,
weird?
she also got engaged.
I know. So would that be weird to be married
Both of
now to
them.
your husband and then name your kid someone you
your-
used to date?
Yeah. Yeah.
Could you do it?
Probably not.
I don't think so. Okay. Jeff said, yeah, would you let your kid name after Daddy Enosh's ex? No, I would not. So well played.
Said I definitely like the sound of Killer Frost. is what
She
Alan said.
kicks butt. I love her. She is my favorite.
Yes.
Roman Reigns is awesome. I love that catch. That name is awesome. I love it. I feel season 5 is the second best season. Really, Roman? What would you say is the first season would be your favorite season?
Yeah. So far, season 3 is like that's like not including season 5 as a whole. I'd probably say season 3 is my favorite.
And which one was that?
Savitar.
True. I don't know. I'm loving this. He says season 1.
Season
You know
one,
what?
yeah.
I think that's true because it was the first taste that we got of the Flash. We're seeing how it was working. We got to get to know the people. And, we love it because that's when we got to meet John Wesley Shipp and we got
Yep.
to get our spoilers for the end of that season.
And we heard like a behind the scenes thing about
Yeah,
the season
so that was
finale.
very special to us.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I think season 1 and this season right now are probably my favorite seasons so far. William
I love-
says he loves Killer Frost. And he likes season 2 the most.
The character development and awesome plot. that kept you waiting. Yeah, that's true. Jeff said for him it was season 2 with the Earth 2 stuff. And
Yes.
then, yeah, that was cool that they opened it up to the multiverse up in season 2.
I think they've done great just explaining just, the Flash verse, I guess if you want to call it that, just because
Yeah.
it's one of those things that, this show, it can take liberties, but it likes
Yeah.
to follow the comics, which I love.
Mhm.
I mean, because there's times that, if you don't follow the comics, it's shows like this that you can go ahead and watch and be like, okay, I actually understand it better.
Yeah, or you can
Stuff
go
like
and read
that.
the comic and be like, oh, this is pretty similar to the show.
William said for him it was 2 and 5.
Yeah.
For Jeff, he said
Right now.
season 2.
Yeah, if I had to choose complete seasons, I'd say 1 and 3. But if I had to choose 2 seasons for my favorite, I'd say 3
Very
and 5.
cool. Caleb just says, I want a flash forward finale scene where they have like 5 kids: Eddie, Nora, Leonard, Harry, and Henry. I like that idea.
Yeah.
That would be awesome, Caleb. Okay, so we both give it a 10 out of 10. It
Yep.
looks like most people in this, chat tonight give it a 10 out of 10. So
and
this,
really enjoy the season so far.
yes, and are enjoying the season. So if you have not watched this season yet or watched this episode, come back and see what you think. See if you fall in line with us. Jeff said we can all agree that this is a great TV show, no wonder it's the network's #1 show. Yes.
Yeah.
So super glad that they decided to renew it for another season.
Yep.
And hope that continues for a couple more years at least.
Yep, and we still get the Batwoman pilot
Yes.
in the fall.
And eventually when these shows come back,
Yeah.
we are very frustrated though about the March 5th because we
Yeah.
finally got this back. We finally get to do these shows again, and then they're like, "Hey, guess what? We're going to go away for 3 weeks."
I'm just hoping that with Legends coming out in April, I'm hoping that doesn't push back next season to be like later in the fall.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Legends still comes back around the same time in the fall.
I do too. Russ actually said too, it does get a little confusing, all the CW shows in the same universe. What do you think about that?
I could see it happening. But I feel like they've already set up that they've already set it up and made it a point to all the heroes are in the same universe.
Yes.
But I could see like Riverdale having their own Earth, or like what's that one show? I
Jeff
can't
just
think
said
right
that.
now.
He says the only thing missing for me in the Arrowverse is Riverdale.
Yeah.
They actually made reference to Riverdale in
Sabrina.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the new Netflix series.
We're only 2 or 3 episodes in.
Yeah.
Yeah, which after we catch up on Black and Lightning, we're gonna watch that.
Yes. We only have a couple episodes left to catch up on Black Lightning, and it's getting really good. So, Point Dexter Lounge says, I just read Jeff's comment. I would name my kid after my ex, laugh out loud, or Tiffany's.
He said, "Oh, I'm guessing he's joking."
I'm hoping it's an LOL. Oh, he
Would
said
not.
would not. Autocorrect, yes. I was going to say, we have some explaining to do if you think you would do that. That's why Black Lightning is so... Yes, I agree, William.
They need to connect that into the Arrowverse.
Russ says the crossovers are confusing when I'm binging.
Yeah, you kind of
can
have to
see-
watch them in a certain order. Like when I was rewatching all of Arrow, I skipped over the crossovers because I remembered what happened.
Yes.
But how...
I can see that, Russ.
You just have to remember what order they went in that year, or if you just look at all the CW shows, it'll say part 1 for this show, part 2 for this show. But I think most of the time it went Arrow, Flash, Legends, Supergirl, if I remember correctly. I think when Supergirl was in it, and then when Supergirl wasn't in it, I know Flash was always second.
Yes.
But I think it always went Arrow, Flash, Legends. I'm pretty sure.
Caleb
Oopsies.
says Legacies had an unofficial crossover with the Arrowverse. Gorilla Grodd appeared in a dream sequence as a generic gorilla.
Yeah, I remember someone saying that a few weeks ago, or like
Yes.
a month ago.
But it's exciting to know that they're going to come back in
Yeah.
Flashes.
Yeah, I can see them I can see it happening with all these CW shows tying together, with how much people love the Arrowverse.
Yes.
Yeah, I could see it. It would be pretty cool if they did.
Okay, so now to not chance starting maybe an upheaval in here, my thing that I've been thinking of, have any of you seen the preview for the new live Aladdin?
Oh yeah.
The picture, or
Yeah.
I guess it's not a picture, it's like a short snippet of Will Smith, Blue, as the genie. Discuss. It's one of those
That's it.
things because I I didn't say anything, and Isaac was wondering what happened. I didn't answer him because I didn't know what to say.
Yeah, it's like, obviously it's not going to be Robin Williams.
I know.
Genie.
But it's Will Smith, and when he came out of the genie, when he came out of the lamp, you kind of heard that Will Smith, like you don't do that as.
No, it's like I said after we watched it. It's like he has to do Robin Williams' like famous line.
He has to do a couple of his
1,000
lines.
years and
give you such a crick in the neck.
Yeah.
So, Caleb said it's not bad, but it's not good.
Yeah,
that's exactly how I felt.
Yeah, I feel like that too. I'm not gonna judge it until it comes out.
Yeah.
But it's like, as of right now, I'm 50-50 on it.
I want to like it, but it's Will Smith.
Yeah.
And
I can see him doing it if he does it correctly.
I already know in my mind it's not going to be Robin Williams, and I understand that. This is going to be his rendition. This is going to be a live rendition.
His version.
I'm not sure how I feel about Aladdin yet. Because every time we see him, he's not talking. Same with Jafar. But just in looks alone, I think that the lady that they have playing Jasmine
for a live action
looks perfect. I think she looks great. I can't wait to see what Abu looks like too.
And we see from the trailer that we get to see that scene, or like that singing montage when Aladdin's on that elephant.
When they're playing Arabian, I love that.
When he's going into town and they're singing.
See, William said the same thing. He says, like Inash says, it's now Will Smith and everything. Yeah. And that's the thing that I want to make. That's why I don't want to make a judgment yet, because maybe he'll surprise us, and maybe he'll just do an awesome job as a different genie that we just love. But right now, I can't. It's
and plus it's the first thing we've seen of him, and we only get like 5 seconds of it.
Yeah,
so
it's not like we get like in a 2-minute preview. We only get a few seconds.
Yeah,
so
we still have 3 months until the movie comes out,
which I'm excited about.
Yeah,
Aladdin is one of my favorite Disney movies. Aladdin. You watched Nemo and stuff as you were a kid, and Toy Story and Pixar stuff. But my favorites growing up were like Aladdin, Little Mermaid, Lion King. So it's one of those things like to see this, I was just like, yes, they're gonna do it, but are they gonna mess it up? So But I loved what they've done with Beauty and the Beast. I loved the live action Cinderella. So
I liked Jungle Book a lot also.
Yeah, so they're doing well with that. I hope this isn't the one that throws a kink in there.
Yeah, and we also get Lion King this year.
Exactly, Inash, he got it right. He says he didn't even try to put on a different personality. It was just Blue Will Smith.
Yeah,
that's what it seemed like. Hey, I bulked up because I got to put blue on my chest. Change it up. You got to be a genie. You got to have fun with it. You got to be quirky. So I don't know. I hate the short teasers, and the teasers before the trailers annoy. Exactly. William says that's good that they're finding roots in something. And you know what? I think they're doing well in trying to do these live action movies.
Of the classic cartoons.
Yes, as long as they're staying as close as they can to the storylines.
Yep. Like Jungle Book, they didn't really change anything. I know that King Louis wasn't that big in the original one, but that didn't ruin it.
No. And in the little things that they do change, we're usually okay. I mean, I'm usually okay with that because it's it's my childhood movies. I mean, I haven't seen the new Mary Poppins yet, and
we haven't seen that either.
I can't make reference to that yet. But you know what? If you can change that, it's the old-fashioned cartoons. Dumbo, the things that they're trying to do. Yeah. So, but you can't take someone like Will Smith and then not have him change his personality. So I agree with Enosh there.
Yeah. But I forgot we get 3 live-action Disney movies this week. This month. I mean, not this month. This year. We get Aladdin, Dumbo, and Lion King.
That's true.
Yeah.
That should be interesting.
Yeah, one thing that Logan said that I thought was funny last night when him and I were talking. He's like, oh yeah, the live-action Lion King is still going to be animated. And I was like, so it's basically a 4K version of the original Lion King?
Well, that's what I was going to say. How are you going to make Timon and Pumbaa? I mean, are you going to put them in costumes? Are you going to make them, animals that with, the little mouths that talk?
They still have to do that little thing at the end with the hyenas, how they sing that song.
Yes. That would be awesome.
They still have to do that.
Okay, Caleb says the storylines are the same, but character stuff can change.
Yep.
Belle wasn't an inventor in the original, and Maleficent was reimagined into an anti-hero. Very true. I agree with that. So it's kind of like taking the originals, making them live action, and then putting their own little twist on it, which, you know what? If you're going to be a director and a producer, that's what you get. You pay the money, you take creative liberties, but
so
just don't change it up so much that you mess it up. And that's my only concern with Will Smith is, are they going to do that?
Yeah.
Or is he going to do that, I guess? Cause it's his acting that would mess it up.
Plus, the
So-
animation looks really good on it. As
Yes.
we see, scene like when he does take the lamp, how all of a sudden the whole thing starts to fall in.
Or
We see
even when they
lava.
showed, the lion's head, with the sand, and he says the diamond in the rough, and
Yeah,
it sounds
in
like
the
the
first trailer.
original, which sounds so cool. So, I have hope, but I'm reserved. So, that's my nerd thing that I'm bringing up this week, trying to figure out some of the things. William said, "What about the Lion King live action?"
I'm really excited for that. I want to see much that they could change in that also. So I
know.
feel like that one's gonna be more like the original one.
And see, now to me, growing up with that, I loved Jeremy Irons' Scar as the voice.
I think he's coming back for that.
That would be awesome.
I
'Cause that's
know.
what I was gonna say. Is
Yeah.
please leave Jeremy Irons' Scar because
I
he's
know.
still doing voiceover work.
I know James Earl Jones is coming back for Mufasa. I know that.
William says, "Did they just choose Will Smith because he's Will Smith, or is he actually gonna do good?"
Yeah.
That's what we think too, because we're not sure if it's just
Yeah.
gonna be Blue Will Smith or
I-
if it's gonna
I-
be him trying to.
I
Act.
could see him singing "A Friend Like Me." Like if he does it correctly, I could see him like singing "Friend Like Me," and I could see him doing like kind of like the funny like comedy like how Genie had in the cartoon.
I mean, he has the comedy, the comedic chops. He's done it, in
Yeah.
all these other movies and Men in Black and stuff like that. But
I can see him doing it. It's just
how well?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna have to see that in a couple weeks. Very true, Alan. And Justin, it says, "Do you have Anakin Skywalker's Force?" Enosh does, yes. He has all of them right now, including the newest Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yep. Which there's a video of that on the channel.
Yes. So
Where he
if you
does a
want to
review of
see
it.
that, he did. It was an unboxing.
Yeah, I think there's an unboxing and a review.
Yes. So that way you can see what it looks like in the box, out of the box, all of that. So find that on the channel. It's somewhere down there. See, we got a little bit of everything on this channel for everybody.
Yeah.
Caleb says, "I think Genie should have been Alden Ehrenreich. He can sing and he's done comedy. He'd be a little young, but he's a great comedic actor.
Yeah.
But you know what? You could bulk him up and put, padding on to make him look like a genie, because that's what
or
it
just
looks
make
like
him
for Will
CGI.
Smith. Exactly. But I think that would have been a great idea too. I think if you ask Enosh if he responds on here, I think anyone but Will Smith, because he feels the same way about Will Smith. He feels the same way about what's his name, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, Tom Cruise.
Someone else who plays the same every
Yep.
single time. So yeah, that's the only thing that we can think of with the shows. Enosh mentioned something about, and it's on the other.
Oh, the Aquaman Trench spinoff.
Yes. So what are your guys' thoughts on the Trench spinoff for Aquaman? I know that, is it James Wan? That
I don't know if it's that or Aquaman 2 is what he said he wanted to do. I think it was Aquaman 2 is what he said he wanted to do.
Enosh said, "Alan, nostalgia is for the first Keaton Batman, but I also really love The Dark Knight. But my favorite is the first Keaton movie."
Yeah.
And Alan says, "What do you think of Bad Boys 3? Caleb says, "Trench, James Wan is not directing."
Okay. Yeah, I didn't
Sorry,
think so.
this is where Enosh usually comes in
Yeah, all I've
in
heard is
handy
the
because he
spinoff.
knows the plethora of nerd information. Sorry about that,
Yeah.
Caleb.
Yeah, I pretty much follow comic book news on Instagram, and that's pretty much it. I don't get the emails or the
Russ,
anything
I
else.
would highly recommend seeing Aquaman as soon as you
Yes.
possibly can. He said he hasn't seen it yet. That movie was phenomenal.
It was
I
worth
know
seeing.
Yes, I know that you can't see it in the theater anymore, which was like the coolest way to be able to do it.
Which one thing is one thing that was announced today, just I think it was like about like an hour or two before the stream, is that when Aquaman goes out on Blu-ray and DVD, that we're gonna get a special look at Shazam.
Yes.
On the DVD.
Which would be awesome.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that Jason Momoa he knocked it out of the park. The storyline was great. There was just twists and turns, and you had sharks with laser beams on their heads. You can't go wrong with that. So, okay. Williams said, "Now this is a story about how my lamp got turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute to sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a cave called the Cave of Wonders." Well played, William. So, Gogurt Fun said, I can't stop thinking about the A Happy Refrain episode from the Orville. It was so good. Yes, and we, as long as it's on,
This week.
Isaac wasn't 100% sure if it was.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah.
But especially with the Flash not coming back until March 5th, we will be doing watch the Orville live with you. Enosh is supposed to be coming back on Thursday.
Yep.
We're not sure what time yet and if it's weather permitting. So if he's not back in time, the show must go on. We will still watch it with you guys, and that way we can watch that together as well. So we have something to look forward to while the Flash is on hiatus again. Caleb said, my favorite Batman is Kilmer. Campiness aside, Batman Forever is definitely my favorite of the 4 movies. My favorite Superman was the 1940s and 50s cartoons, but live action would be Tom Welling. I have to agree with you there. Tom Welling, and it's not just because we got to meet him, but he I think it just embodied Clark. It showed...
Even so far, just on season 5 where we're at, I really like him.
Yeah, and what's awesome with this is the kids seeing it for the first time. We're watching it, and it's like, I haven't seen it 10, 20 years since it came out. Watching it again, it's just, it like hits you in the feels again. It's like, man, some of these episodes I don't even remember because they were so long ago. So I think that's a great thing. And favorite Superman is Superman 2, Enosh said. And Russ said, I love Jim Carrey as the Riddler. You know what? I did too, actually.
I haven't watched that in a while, so I don't really remember him as Riddler.
Well, you know what? Besides the green spandex suit, but even that, the red hair, he had the cane. He played a great Enigma. And I think that the guy who's playing Enigma in Gotham right now, I think there's like a small percentage, to me at least, that shows just that tiny, tiny smidgen of Jim Carrey's Riddler, just because he doesn't go crazy with like the riddle me this Batman, but it's like that crazy off, that Ed is, I think comes a little bit from that too.
Yeah.
Poindexter Lounge, which version, theatrical or director's cut, Caleb said to Enosh. Alan says Keaton, Bale, my top 2 Batmans, and of course Adam West in the series.
Yep.
Yes, he was. I love that Adam West, as he got older, he was able to play that iconic Batman. But I think it's awesome that as he got older, he was also able to poke fun at himself.
Yep.
He was on, Family Guy as Mayor Adam West. He's done all these different, voiceovers, making fun of himself. And I thought that was a really awesome. And Enosh actually mentioned that when we went to Comic-Con the year we got to go to one of his panels.
Yep.
And he actually told him, with Burt Ward. And he told him, I love the fact that you can do that you can joke and not take yourself too seriously. And he even said, he goes, you know what, if you take yourself too seriously, you're not going to get too far in this business because, you got to have fun with it. And I think that's awesome that he did that later on. Jeff said, can you also do a Supergirl live stream? I heard Melissa, Cara, and Chris Wood Monell got engaged in real life.
Yep.
Really? That's super cool.
Yeah, so I think
super cool, not
I think
intended.
it was either yesterday or
you know
Sunday.
What? They had a great on-screen chemistry, so I wouldn't be surprised because they did look really well, and I was actually super bummed when things did not work out the way that they did with them. But that's kind of cool that they can have some off-screen chemistry. Yep. Supergirl live stream is on Sundays, so that is going to be tricky for us because with Enosh being a pastor, we also have night services that we have to do, and half the time Enosh has to lead the music for it. Sometimes he actually has to preach. So if there's like weeks that we're not busy and able to do that, I don't know if we can do live, but we can definitely do a recap. But I would have to catch up on it. Enosh is still very iffy about it. He's got a love-hate relationship with Supergirl, put it that way.
I haven't watched it since season 1, so.
And it's not on his list of shows to want to catch up on quickly.
Because I just caught up on Titans, so I'm debating on whether to watch.
What to watch next?
Yeah, watch Young Justice or Gotham or Supergirl.
Yes, and then Enosh said, Caleb, I like the original best. The Donner cut is just alternate universe to me, plus the fact that it's not finished scenes takes me out of the movie.
Yeah.
And Alan said 19th September will be Adam West's birthday. Yes, on stage they suck means off stage they are in love, no doubt. Yes. I mean, they actually had a great on-screen chemistry. I mean, they worked well together and did, you really felt the connection there, but
Yeah, and I always
it's
watch the
super
bloopers
cool.
at the end of the season for all the shows, because I find it funny, like to see how they joke around
William,
on
if
set.
we really wanted to, we could binge it. We really could. And
Yeah.
I'm still debating on if Enosh is going to be watching it or if it's something that I'm going to catch up on my own soon because I need to know what's going on. But it could be binged if it's something we wanted to do. It's just a matter of Sundays are a little rough for us. Right now, Sundays and Mondays. Because Mondays, Enosh goes to class, and Monday nights, I teach a class.
Yep.
So there's certain shows. That's why we do the Flash on Tuesdays, the Orville on Thursdays, and we are always open up to more suggestions on things that you guys like, that you love to see.
Normally, I watch Arrow Tuesday when I get home from school.
Yeah, that's true. And Riverdale Wednesdays, if we see now Wednesday we have music practice, but
So sometimes we watch it Thursday.
yes. So if we can make that work, we may watch Riverdale live because that makes us flip out every time we watch it. But I don't know if I could make it through not being able to fast forward through the commercials is my problem. Okay. I can't do Supergirl. Feel the same way as Enosh. I've watched for a while, but Supergirl is now too SJW for me. I can see that. William says I like the first and second season, but the third took a turn for the worst in my opinion. That's where Enosh, he started getting frustrated is the nice way to put it. I don't know what else to say. Alan says I did not watch the first episode of season 1 of Supergirl. I like it. I know I will love it just like any other superhero TV show. And Williams also said, I like the first and second season, but the third took a turn for the worst, in my opinion, for Supergirl. Caleb says, maybe do a short DC series. Birds of Prey, maybe a couple of unaired pilots, Wonder Woman, Aquaman.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. It would be a nice, we should just even, go on the DC network and just be like, hey, guys, want to watch something together?
Yeah.
Just something fun, and we can just do like a roulette wheel and just spin it and decide what we're gonna watch.
There's no Flash on Tuesday.
Yeah, we may have to figure something out. I think you got an idea there.
Yeah, so there's no Flash for 2 weeks, and then the third week we're back.
Jeff said, add Game of Thrones to your long list, please. Final season is about to start.
Yes.
That's one thing that we haven't watched yet, but it's something that is definitely intriguing. Jeff, they won't like it. Meaning?
One thing...
the Flash fortune wheel.
My dad watches it, and he said that one thing that they've started to do is I thought he said there's books for that they wrote about...
For which show?
Game of Thrones. That there's books they wrote, and the show's based off of it. And that now they're starting to go off, go a different direction from the books, and that's one of the reasons why they're doing a final season, is what I've heard.
Russ said too much nudity.
Yeah.
It's Adam and Eve. It's okay. Caleb says Wonder Woman pilot is online somewhere, and Aquaman is on DC Universe. So that's a good thing we can possibly check out. We'll have to come up with some ideas. Maybe if you guys can leave some ideas in the comments, like Caleb is, or on DC Universe, something we can do on Tuesday on this 3-week hiatus where Flash is off. Maybe we can just sign on and do a special Talk Nerdy to Me, see what's going on in the nerd world next week.
We could all watch Young Justice and catch up on that up to the newest point.
We got a lot of things that we could do, so we'll have to figure that out. And Rose is saying a whole lot of nudity.
That's what I've
now
heard
maybe
from
I
that.
am intrigued, Russ. No kidding. Alan says many DC Marvel could easily be on for at least 20 seasons. It's sad when they don't last that long. That's the one thing that we agree with. It's like, Smallville lasted 10 years, 10 seasons.
Yeah.
And I could have gone on for more, especially with the way that they ended the series. But it's just one of those things that, the actors want to move on and do other projects. And,
that's one thing is I've been listening to Michael Rosenbaum's podcast that he has. I think he posts about one every week or one every 2 weeks. And his one with Stephen Amell is they were talking about it. Is they're like they love acting on the show, but they don't want to be known as that character from now on. Yeah. They want to be able to do other stuff, be known for other stuff. Well, because Rosenbaum, he played Lex for 10 years, and now it's like, when you see him with hair, when you see him in other roles, it's like, that's not Lex. And but he still does stuff, and it's just one of those things that you don't want to be typecast. Yeah, it's like Stephen Amell said, he really enjoyed playing Casey Jones in the live action Ninja Turtles.
Because it was something different.
Yeah, but he said pretty much all he's done is Casey Jones and Oliver Queen. And he said he loves playing Oliver Queen, which I thought was interesting about how he memorizes the script.
Really?
Is one thing he said is he's played Oliver for so long, he only has to read the script 3 times, and then he can pretty much fill it in, or he memorizes it because he's played Oliver for so long. He knows how he's going to respond to things. He knows how he's going to say things.
Wow, go Stephen Amell.
And he said unless he like completely doesn't know what to do or completely doesn't remember it, then he looks back at the script a few times and then goes back to that scene.
So apparently Arrow is more ad-libbed by Stephen Amell because
he's played him for 7 years now.
Well, you'd almost have to have a photographic memory to memorize that stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess if you become the character. Caleb says the author told them the ending, so there is some deviation, but the next book will loosely follow the same story.
Yeah, that's what my dad said, is that they're starting to move away from the books a little bit. And that's one thing that they're going to do with this season.
Yeah.
Well, the newest season that's coming out. Yeah, and The Walking Dead is even starting to do that. Is they're starting to go away from the comics. They started doing that a while ago. Is because they've pretty much caught up to the comics with Negan.
Well, I was gonna say you've now you watch Walking Dead and all that stuff.
I've slowly stopped watching that.
Is it starting to lose your interest?
Yeah, it's starting to do that for everybody. Is they ended
it's
up
run its course.
Yeah, because they killed off the characters that died in the comics, and then it's like then they killed off Carl. Which that didn't happen in the comics. He ended up outliving everybody in one of the stories. And then they ended up, I can't remember who else. And then they did one more person. And then Rick, they ended up killing him off. Because Andrew Lincoln wants to do other things. But...
Yes, Caleb, that's true. He said Imposter was weird for me. Rosenbaum playing a bumbling idiot.
Yeah.
There was also a movie that he did where he dressed up like a girl, which was also very different than Lex Luthor too. Didn't work. I agree.
Yeah, but it was announced last week, or I think it was Friday, is that Michonne's gonna end up leaving with The Walking Dead also. Which, it's pretty much just gonna be Daryl, and I don't know if Maggie's left yet, because I haven't watched it in like over a year.
You're gonna have to catch up yourself.
Yeah, but with what's been going on, it's like, I don't know.
Actually, Alan, the worst in my opinion, and Enosh might be able to back me up, I liked the show, but the ending angered the heck out of me, was the show Lost. Yeah. I loved the premise, them being stuck on an island, they crash landed, people made it, they became a family, there was, all these crazy things, there was polar bears on the stinking island, for God's sake, but the ending physically angered me. It was frustrating, and to me, that was one of the worst series endings in a long time for me. Russ says it was okay to me. Well, see, this is why we love the Poindexter's Lounge, because everybody has different feelings, different says, different thoughts. So now, if there's anything else that you guys can think of that happened this week in the nerd world, if there's any movies, TV shows, comics, anything that you guys can think of before we sign off. One thing,
Enosh brought it up before we ended the stream, is that Kevin Smith is going to be doing a Howard the Duck TV show.
Yes, that would be fun.
I don't know anything about that. All I know is that Kevin Smith posted something today about saying, "Oh yeah, thank you, Marvel, for letting me do a Howard the Duck show," or something like that.
Now, is that going to be like a TV show or a Netflix series or something like where you can...
know. With them canceling the other Netflix Marvel shows, I don't think it's going to go to Netflix.
Okay.
I'm thinking that maybe like one of the shows that goes to Disney Plus.
It would be in that vein, I think.
Yeah, I think it's either going to be TV or Disney Plus is what I'm thinking. I
think that'd be a great idea, and it would be cool to see whether is it going to be live action or cartoon.
I don't know. Pretty much all I know is that Kevin Smith is going to be doing it, and it's going to be a show.
Because it would be kind of cool to get a cameo from McFly's mom, Leah Thompson, cool. Because she was in there as being with him. So that would be kind of cool to throw some little nuances like that in there. But I'm interested to see what it's about and how Kevin Smith, because I love some of the stuff that he does, so it'd be great to see what he does, what he comes up with. Alan says Angel before ending was going great, and then with all these 10-foot monsters joining the battle, so wrong. Russ says, what do you think of Star Wars 9 being a lame duck?
I haven't really heard anything about it, like being like off from the other ones or like a lame duck. I like to use like that quote.
I know it's one of those things that I'm.
We don't really know anything yet.
I'm reserving just how I'm going to feel about that because I already know. We already know, obviously, with Carrie Fisher being gone in real life, how they're going to have to change up the storyline. I know that
they said
have.
They aren't going to CGI her like they did Grandma.
No, and I would just hate if they did that.
Yeah, I'm glad they're not doing that.
But I think it's also one of those things that I know that they have taped footage of her. They were going to use some stuff, maybe to give her a better send off.
Yeah.
But I am very interested to see what they're going to do, if they're going to keep Kylo Ren. I don't want him to turn good anymore, and that's just me personally.
Yeah,
so I think I want to see how much more bad can he be. What's he going to do? Is he going to continue on with his grandpa's legacy?
Yeah, I'm 50-50. It's like I want him to go good, but it's like what they did with him in Last Jedi. They kind of like pushed him so far from the light that he has to stay on the dark side. Is what I feel.
Yeah. And you got to keep some bad guys bad. You can't just have everybody redeemed.
Yeah.
Fan would show their hate if they CGI her.
Yes.
Yes. Well, they already did CGI her in
Rogue One.
Rogue One at the end.
That was to show her from Episode 4.
Yeah. I mean, yes, she was younger, but she could have just turned around and looked at the screen. She didn't even have to say anything.
Yeah. All she said was hope, and then that was it.
She says, to give hope or something like that. But it's just one of those things, like, they didn't need to do that. That's what I'm hoping that they don't touch it.
I thought they said that they're not doing that, that they're only using unreleased footage. That's what I thought they said. I could be wrong. But I thought that's what they said.
Jeff said you're going to love the White Walkers aspect of the Game of Thrones. There's no nudity within the Watch of the Night King and the Army of the Dead. Just bloody killing. Well, you know what? It seems like every show that is rated R anymore, or TV thing that's rated R these days, has either nudity or killing, and you know what? It sounds like that's what people have become accustomed to, or I don't know. It's something that we may have to look into down the line. But Russ, just to answer your question, I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. I want to wait until it comes out, just because I want to make sure, I actually enjoyed Last Jedi as much as people hated it. And so I know that we go against the grain when we say that.
Yeah, it's like one thing I've been saying is like, I liked it for what it was and not what it could have been. I liked how they set out like the premise for Episode 9. And it wasn't like, oh yeah, they could have done this for the movie. It's like, okay, they did this, now it's going to lead into this. And that's what I liked about it.
Well, what's nice though too is there's like all these different aspects that they can go, and I'm interested to see which way that they go.
Yeah, I can see why people don't like it, but overall I liked it.
Yeah. No. Just kidding. And Alan actually says, I know I have to watch Orville and The Flash. Is there one more that you can request for me to watch? The two that pop out to me are actually Legends.
Yeah, if you're talking about Arrowverse shows, I'd probably say either Arrow or Legends.
Mine would be Legends or Gotham.
Yeah.
But I also haven't seen Arrow yet. I'm going to binge Arrow this summer so that I can catch up to the season coming up.
Yeah, because Arrow's the thing that launched the new shows into what it is now.
Yeah.
Is Arrow started it, and then like 2 seasons later, Flash started. Then the next season, Supergirl started, and Legends started.
I think between us, it sounds like, Arrow, if you're going DC, Legends is awesome because it takes a couple different people from a couple different shows. They have to be on a ship together. They're time travelers. I love Rip in the first season.
Wally West was in a season.
Yes, you had Firestorm.
Yep.
So that's cool. Plus, it has comedy. They've got to fix things in the future and the past and everything. So that's kind of got that aspect, which is really fun. Gotham is more dark if you like the Batman stuff. And yes, I know Bruce is young and it's ending this year. But it's one of those things that it's definitely worth watching. It's great to see, the character development, just to kind of see, a little bit. But that's just me personally. Yeah,
I'd say Legends because it has a really good team aspect and they write everybody really good.
And another CW show that's not superhero that I would highly recommend because we are obsessed with it is Riverdale.
Yeah, I didn't watch it till I think it was like after season 1 came out is when I started watching it.
And I didn't watch it until like the end of season 2.
No, you watched it
or
like halfway.
3.
I showed it to you like the mid-season of season 2.
And he just kept trying to get me to watch it because it's the story of Archie and Jughead
Yeah.
and all them, and I loved the Archie comics growing up. And when I found out who was playing Jughead, I loved Cole Sprouse because I thought he was such a little cutie when he was on Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. He was in the movie Big Daddy. Always loved him. So to see him play now in this like brooding, 20-something, and he plays Jughead.
The South Side Serpent.
Yeah. So
And
it's just, that show is great. It's got so many twists and turns, and that one is definitely a binging show because when I watched it, I must have stayed up
I remember
days watching those episodes.
I remember one time I got home and it was like one of your early days that you got home and you were like doing something on the couch, like you're putting something together while you were watching one of the episodes.
I was putting together a Star Wars headboard.
Yes, that's what it was. You put together the Star Wars headboard while you were watching
Riverdale, because I could not stop watching it. So that's another. But it's got some dark aspects. It's got comedy. It's got it's like a mini soap opera. So
it's also one of those shows I haven't been able to predict it except for like a few things.
I know, but you can't stop watching. You can't look away.
Yeah, it's like one of those ones where it always gives you a surprise. And
William says Alan give Supergirl a try. Yeah, because like I said, not everybody hates it. Not everybody is against everything that goes that's wrong with it. But any DC shows right now you can't go wrong with, which is nice. It says, Alan, all of them are in the same universe.
Yep.
So I'll watch Arrow and Legends then. My list is done.
Okay. Yeah, Arrow is has a pretty good like overarching story from season 1 up until now. As you see a lot of change. I won't spoil anything if you're gonna watch it, but you see a lot of change in Oliver from season. Whereas now compared to how he was at the beginning, you see a lot of change in him and just how like how his mindset's changed and how his motives have changed. And I'd say season 2 and season 7 are my favorites so far.
Yeah.
For that show.
Arrow and Gotham are more on the darker side. Riverdale has dark-esque things to it, but
I'd say Flash and Legends are more of the lighter shows.
And then, what is it? Jeff said Legends will always give you a laugh, especially this season. It's a fun show. This season actually is. I thought it was weird when they said we're gonna have magical creatures.
Yep.
And I thought, how are they gonna pull that off?
It's like, what?
And then every episode we've watched, I'm like, I love this show. It is so fun, so cool. I love their spin when they took the fairy godmother.
Yeah.
And it was like
she was all like, I don't know how'd you put it, like.
She was cranky and feisty and like using bad words, and it was like she was being vindictive, and I was like, it's so completely twisted. I love it.
It was like the beginning. It was like, oh yeah, you didn't want her to disappear. And
I know.
It was like she was all really nice until the very end.
Exactly.
And then one thing that we've really liked a lot is that Biff is on this season.
Yes. That was my favorite thing. Having Biff from Back to the Future be on the show to play the dad to Steel.
Yep. I forgot they announced that like during the break between the seasons, and then I remembered that the first episode you were like, wait, he's on the show? I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that.
And to throw a Back to the Future reference, I'm waiting for more at the end of this season. I'm really hoping they just throw just like a one-liner, something, have some manure somewhere that he's got to step over, something like that. Because to have him say, let's make like a tree and leave, and he's like, that's not how you used to say it, Dad, because he used to say, get out of here. Said it wrong in the movie, so it's cool, when...
Like little things like that.
Again, like the Adam West thing, if you can make fun of yourself, that's awesome, and he definitely does that.
Yeah, Legends, it's always funny, and it's funny when it needs to be funny, and it's serious when it needs to be serious.
Yes, Jeff, I agree. And Alan said, don't spoil, or I'll come and kick the Wolverine's butts. Yes, we will not continue on with any of that stuff. No. But this season is definitely...
One thing that I will say is one time Logan was watching with me, he's like, wow, Arrow is like a lot darker than Flash and Legends. I was like, yeah, it's more on the darker side.
Another one that's on the dark side, but is kick butt, we love it, is Titans.
Yes.
When he's curb stomping him and running his face against the glass of the door, and it's like, but you can't look away.
I loved Arrow on Smallville is what Helen said.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where we are having this conversation, because we're introducing the kids to Smallville. We are in the 5th season, and
He
Arrow
shows
does
up
not show up
season
until
6.
season 6, and it's
Yep.
Justin Hartley. So, our first and only experience with Green Arrow was Justin Hartley.
Yep.
So we fell in love with him. We loved him as Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
So then when they, Smallville went off the air, they said we're going to come out with an Arrow, TV show. We're thinking, yay, it's going to have to be Justin Hartley. When we found out it wasn't him and it was Stephen Amell, we were like, it's not the same. I don't want to watch it. And that's where we were being like, little kids, because it wasn't our Arrow.
Yep.
But it's one of those things that I'm interested to see, because his Arrow, the only Arrow he knows
Is Stephen
is
Amell.
Stephen Amell.
Yeah.
Only one we've known for the longest time was Justin Hartley. So I'm interested to see Isaac's take on his acting as Arrow. Yeah. Because it shows him in Smallville, it shows him as Arrow, and it shows him as Oliver Queen. So it's very cool.
Yeah, it's like I'm excited to see this, like see the Smallville Oliver Queen, but I also want you to see like the new Oliver Queen.
Alan says, "How old are you, Isaac? Are you willing to tell your age?"
Yeah. I'm 16.
Yes.
Uh,
Very well versed for his age, though. He's grown up in this nerd family.
Yeah, I'll be 17 in
June.
Yeah, in June, a few months.
This summer. Justin says, "Hey Tiffany, I have a riddle for you. Go. You can go ahead and tell me."
Yep.
Jeff says, "I will never forget the episode of Bart Allen on Smallville. I remember crying at the end of that episode." Yes. That one still hit me in the
Have
feels.
you watched that one yet?
Huh?
I know we've gotten Bart Allen before, but is that the episode that he's talking about?
That's the episode he's talking about. That's the one where Enosh and I still teared up.
Yeah.
We knew what was going to happen. We'd seen it before, and yet we still teared up. So, yes, I agree with you. Justin said, "What did the astronaut say to his parents?" What did he say, Justin? And now we wait.
Yeah.
I need some space. Nice. Very well played. Like it. Very cool.
That was a good one.
We're going to have to tell Bad Apple or Logan that, because usually he is the one that tells all of our jokes like that. So we'll have to tell him that one tonight when we go get the dog out of his room.
Yeah, he's always telling us jokes or puns or like anything funny.
Aw. Alan complimented us. He said, "It's awesome. You have been in much respected nerd family. We respect you, and an awesome family indeed."
Thank you.
And Russ, if you have never seen Smallville, oh my gosh, you need to watch it.
We're only in season 5 and
That
I really
is your
like
homework. No other thing you got to do. This week you got to watch Smallville. Start in episode 1 and tell me you won't fall in love with it.
The whole series is on Hulu.
Yes.
Yep. And
do you have access to Hulu?
If you don't have Hulu, try and figure out, you can find a video on it all over YouTube, is to download an app called MovieBox. And that'll have the whole series on it.
Not like Bird Box. You have to be able to watch it.
No, it's an app. You have to download it from a website. It's called MovieBox. And you can get it on your phone. I don't know if you can get it on a computer. And I know you can't get it on a TV. But it's called MovieBox.
Yes.
And it has a bunch of shows and movies on it. And it has the
He
whole
said
series.
no and then HW.
Homework.
Yes, it's homework. But it's nerd homework, so it's
Yes.
awesome, because you're going to love us, because you're going to love the show.
Yeah.
Promise. I promise.
We're
it's
only
going to be
halfway-
something you want to binge.
We're only halfway through and it's one of my favorite shows.
Yes. The kids, like, we wait, it's the one thing we watch as a family. So with our kids, having their schedule with their other parents, they do go back and forth throughout the week and on the weekends. So we look forward to when we're together, we've got to binge and watch like a couple episodes, or if it's a weekend, we will watch like a season. That's how good it is. And it's that good watching it 10 years later for us.
Yeah.
And it's that good watching it for the first time for the kids. Russ says, "If I can get my Amazon stick working." Yes.
Yeah. You might be able to if you have a web browser on Amazon Stick. I don't know. I don't have an Amazon
Yeah,
Stick,
we don't
so
know
I
how
don't know.
to, we haven't used
I have an
those
Apple TV.
before.
I know I can put MovieBox onto my Apple TV.
Alan says 123movies.net.
Yep.
Watch this Flash, Smallville, Orville, and more. Thank you, Alan. That's
Yep.
awesome. So
I forgot
Russ,
about that
check that
website.
out. 123movies.net.
Yep.
And you can watch the entire series. It is so worth it, and I promise you the next time that we see you on this chat, you are gonna be very thankful.
Yeah, I forgot about 123movies.net. I've used that a few times before I found MovieBox. I haven't
And
used that
then
in a while.
William says you can use the app Cinemod.
Cinema.
Cinimahd if he spelled it right.
Oh no, it's on my phone. But
There's a tutorial, he said.
yeah, there's an app. I don't know if it's still on the App Store. I know it's on iOS, but I can't remember what it's called right now. It's on my phone, so I can't quit out of this.
Well, there you go,
but it has
Russ. You
everything.
definitely have a couple different avenues to check, but
Yeah.
if you don't
1,
have
2,
Hulu,
3 movies is really
yeah,
good.
1, 2, 3 movies is great. We completely forgot about that, so thank you. That's why we love this place here, because that way people can help us out and help you guys out. And so even though it's the word homework, which I know is a bad word,
Yeah.
definitely check out Smallville.
Yeah.
That is just like a staple in these DC shows. And you can see where a lot of the stuff, you know, from Flash, from all these different shows, will just kind of bounce off from Smallville, because that was kind of like the pioneer.
Like you guys said, in season 1 of Smallville, it was like the meta of the week, and they did that in the Flash. With season 1, they did the meta of the week in the Flash.
Yep.
So yeah, I can see some similarities.
Yeah.
From what they've done.
Before we sign off, Isaac, was there anything else that you wanted to bring up? Anything you were mentioning, like a video games?
Yeah, so a video game thing is, I don't know how many of you guys are Nintendo fans. I personally am a huge Nintendo fan.
Each one of our boys has a Nintendo Switch of their own.
Yeah, we all have our own Switch.
That way they don't fight.
Yep. I saved up and got my own GameCube, and I have the NES Classic. And Nintendo announced today that tomorrow there's going to be a Nintendo Direct, and I'm really excited for that.
Yes, he is actually more of the old school. He likes he wants to display and play.
Yeah.
So he is going to try and save up and get all the old systems plus the new ones.
Yep.
Put them in like a display cube and then be able to play them at his leisure.
Yeah, and I don't know how many of you guys watched the Nintendo Directs or any of the presentations that Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony have, but Nintendo is having one tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Time or 2 p.m. Pacific. And they're going to be talking about a lot of stuff, it sounds like, with what's rumored.
So if there's any other gamers out there that are interested, maybe Isaac can do a follow-up on what he finds out after it goes live. Alan says, only Nintendo 64.
Yeah. I
Is that the one that you have? No?
No, I have the GameCube. I have GameCube and NES Classic.
You have the little baby Nintendo, don't you?
Yeah, that's what the NES Classic is.
That's the one that I like, because it shows all of my old school games all on one. Even Bubble Bobble. It was like a retardedly fun game.
Yeah, I think that's
for the SNES Classic. It's not a word, but I just made it one.
Play Xbox One, PS2.
Yep, we have an Xbox, is it S?
Yeah, 1S.
1S.
Yep, and then...
we have a PS2 as well.
Yeah, we have PS2 as well, and then I pretty much play my Switch a lot.
The boys are always playing Switch and Fortnite, so there's always video games, TVs, something going.
Yeah, pretty much we play all the systems except for the new PlayStation.
Yeah. We're an Xbox family and a Switch family.
Yeah. Here's Prince Insane Trilogy and Spyro Reignited. I haven't played the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, but I want to eventually. And I have not played the Spyro Reignited Trilogy, but it's rumored that it's going to be announced tomorrow for Switch. So I'm hoping.
Jeff said Super Mario was the only Nintendo game I played on a Game Boy. That's awesome. I still have my Game Boy. I was playing Frogger on it another day. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe it was during the Super Bowl, because we were so bored.
Yeah. Yeah, 3-3 the whole game until the fourth quarter.
William said, "Good to know, Isaac," and he said, "Xbox, yeah."
Yeah, I watched Xbox Inside of Xbox, which is Xbox's version of Nintendo Direct. I watched that last week. Yeah, send me a friend request. Gamer tag. Okay.
Vader 6.
I'll save that.
All right. He said he will save that. He will sign on to do that. Sounds good. So if there's gamers out there that have some stuff that you'd like us to do, who's to say maybe we can take, one day while we're bored and just, face it at the TV and play Nintendo and see who can do better.
Smash Bros. Tournament.
There you go. We'll do a tournament.
Yeah, because I finally have all the characters in Smash Bros., including Piranha Plant.
Yes.
And then I already got the DLC pack, so that way I'll get the DLC characters when they come out this year.
Exactly. All right, guys. Well, it looks like we are out of information unless you guys have other stuff to talk about.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody would want me to, but I could do a live reaction to the Direct tomorrow.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested, put it down in the comments here. And if Isaac, especially...
If a few things that are rumored to be announced, I'm probably going to lose it.
So maybe we should just tape it just to see his reaction, because that would be awesome just to see him lose it.
Because I've stayed away from the leaks. The only thing I paid attention to was the date that it was rumored. And
William said that would be cool.
yeah, because so far 2 things that are rumored to be announced. Nothing else I know about is Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered is rumored to go to Switch.
Yeah.
Because Ubisoft posted something and then Nintendo shot it down right away. Like, oh yeah, it's not going to Switch.
Yes.
Which normally when Nintendo shoots things down pretty quick, it then actually ends up happening.
Exactly.
And then Spyro Reignited Trilogies is rumored to be announced tomorrow. So I'm hoping those 2 get announced.
And what time is that supposed to be?
5 p.m. Eastern or 2 p.m. Pacific.
Okay, so regardless whether he has school or not, he can do a reaction.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll just have him do the reaction tomorrow. That way you can see as it's happening what he's learning and also if he loses it or not.
Yeah.
We can maybe place bets.
Sis used to love Spyro. I've never played a Spyro game, but I've always wanted to, and when I've seen people play, I really like it.
I'm more old school, like Mario, original Nintendo Mario, Excite Bike, Paperboy, all that stuff. So I like these new games, but sometimes now with you guys playing them, I just like to watch. I still have yet to play Battlefront, and that's one thing that I would like to do.
Yeah, Battlefront's pretty good.
Yes. So, all right, guys, we will talk to you shortly. We will see you guys on Thursday for Watch the Orville Live with you.
Yep.
If you guys have any questions, comments, reach us on our anywhere in social media. We are on Facebook. We are on we obviously here on YouTube. Yep. We are here on Twitter, Instagram. Yep. So chat,
and also the Poindexter Lounge pages.
Yes.
We have those.
We have Poindexter Lounge on Facebook. We have one for Instagram now.
Yep.
So
and
find
we have one
us.
for Twitter.
Yes. So find us on all of the channels, and we will see you guys another time. All right. Until then, keep nerding out, and we will see you on Thursday. Bye-bye.
Or tomorrow if they want to see a reaction.
Yes, we will definitely do that. So look for that notification bell for Isaac to freak out about Nintendo. Okay, with that, we will see you guys.